Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1. This is a series in which I, as a veteran KSP player but novice RP1 player, is doing my very best to go through the programs and contracts in the RP1 mod pack. A mod pack that turns Kerbal Space Program into a much more realistic simulator with a real scale solar system, historical parts, and accurate contracts. And at the conclusion of the last episode, I got to the moon for the first time, not only getting to the moon, not only flying by the moon, but actually impacting the moon, and that spawned this new article in the Space Gazette dated February 11th, 1960. Space probe reaches the moon. For the first time, a probe manufactured on Earth has entered the gravitational influence of another celestial body. The moon has long fascinated humanity's curiosity, from the smallest child to the most distinguished astronomer, and with the data received from this probe, our understanding will grow. This will be the first of many spacecrafts to survey the moon. And then some historical information. Luna 1 launched on January 1st or 4th, 1959, so I'm a little over a year off, but I'm gonna go with that. I don't care. Was the first real-life probe to do this. Though it was likely intended to impact the moon, it only got to within 5,995 kilometers. Oh, okay, I did better than Luna 1 did, the real-world Luna 1, because I impacted it. Not enough to complete the contract. It was Luna 2 that achieved this, as well as successfully impacting the moon. Oh, and we got a second one here. Astronomers watch spacecraft hit the moon. This was on February 11th, 1960. The probe from the Luna 1 Atlas 1B Castor 1x6 mission has crashed into the moon, kicking up moon dust that will hint at the internal composition of our closest neighbor. Humanity has literally touched another world. Anyone who looks up at the moon can now see it not as something entirely alien, but as the foremost frontier of our exploration into the universe. Historical information: the real probe that did this was the Luna 2, launched on September 13th of 1959. Again, I'm a little bit behind, by the Soviet Union. As well as scientific instruments, it carried 2 hollow spheres stamped all over with USSR September 1959 that broke apart on impact, scattering the message across the lunar surface. That was last episode. Let's talk about this episode. So let's take a look at contracts, first of all. So if I go to early lunar probes, I only had 2 from that program, and I finished them both at the end of last episode. So I'm going to go into mission control. I'm going to definitely take a look at some more and see if there's other contracts that I can do. I do have this from early observational satellites. This magnetometry satellite have to get up into high space, very specific orbit, kind of the highest orbit actually I've had to go to insofar. I got a rocket that I have designed, but there are still some parts that require unlocking and some parts that require tooling before I can start the integration of that. I'm pretty close, but yeah, I got 7,872 unlock credits, and I don't think that's enough. And also, I am a little bit shy on cash, so you know what I should do here? Let's get into staffing, because one of the things that I got a notification for when I completed that contract is that I got 75 new staff members. So I should be, let's close that one, go into staff, see that it's yellow. What? It said I had 75 applicants. Okay. I can't say I'm happy with that. It said I had 75 applicants, but here it says I got 0 applicants. If I'm going to hire anybody, applicants are just people that are high, and you don't have to pay money. You still have to pay their salaries, but isn't this sort of, I don't know if it's a signing bonus or a, headhunting cost, going out and interviewing them. They're just showing up at your door. But if I went to hire people, it's going to cost me money, and I really don't want to spend the money. Okay, I am in the process of hiring up to 800 new researchers. I'm at 740. I'm debating, should I cancel this? I don't understand what happened to my applicant. Maybe I misread that? I don't know. But whatever, I don't have applicants. It does tell me this is yellow. Some engineers are idle. Yes, because there's nothing in Launch Complex 1 to get them going. Why don't I take out, at least for now, the Atlas Launch Complex? Let's take everybody out. Actually, how many people will fit in here? I can get up to 502 in there. Okay. So that's everybody. So let's take everybody out of here just so that people aren't idle. And I can, at the very least, get them working for now on the Atlas 2 until, you know, until, okay, I'm out. So there's 404 people now in the Atlas 2 launch complex working on. That's pushed that date up until May. That's coming up pretty quick now. Boy, it might end up. Well, we'll see. We'll rejigify this once I get some parts unlocked. Okay. I got to be honest. I'm puzzled by the applicants. I feel like going back over to previous video. Maybe I misread it. But I ain't got no applicants. All right. I'm still doing the hiring though, right? Did I cancel that 800 hire? No, it's way down. Why is this at infinity now? What's my budget situation? Did I do something weird to my budget just now? I'm in a deficit. Why am I in a deficit? What did I just do? All I did was take this staff, take them. Okay, I'm in the Atlas 2 launch complex. If I take them out, oh, that does. Oh, if they're idle, they're not being paid. Ah, I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. So I best keep them idle, I suppose. I thought when they're idle, they were still being paid. You're just not okay. I need the money, so where is the Atlas 2? Now I got to take a look at that. There it is here. It was due like in July. Let's get the cash building up again. All right. Because I do want to hire those 800 researchers. You know what? No. I want the cash. Let's close this. Unlock credits. I am gaining 560 unlock credits per day, so hopefully we'll have the credits to get the other. Okay, let's put all this stuff aside for now. Let's go into mission control. Let's see what other contracts we got. There's got to be some more contracts I can do. So under early observational satellites, these ones here all require new science. And that's why I've been so eager with the research. And specifically, it is the next one, this human spaceflight electronics research one that's due for April. 72 days still. That's why I've been eagerly getting scientists being hired, researchers being hired. But I can't do these contracts until I unlock that tech node. But under early lunar probes, we do have crewed orbit. Reach an orbital speed and return safely with a crew. Yeah, I'm nowhere near being able to do that. That's ambitious. But I do have some new ones here. So we have another lunar impactor. I've already impacted the moon once. Probe must be craft must have electric charge. Okay, that's the previous one. Thankfully didn't have that requirement because oh no, it had electric charge. It just lost communication. This looks exactly the same as the previous one. So just do it again? It is just do it again. All right. I can do that. So just hit the moon again. There's more science for me to collect. Okay. Let's see if we can make a better Luna 2 and get that going. And that should not require much in the way of unlocks and stuff. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so there's that lunar impactor one. I'm really looking through it and trying to see what's the difference. This is a series of 2 contracts, of which 0 have been completed. And this is optional, but either way, it's 120 reputation and 16 science, not to mention what you get for it. It's exactly the same. Okay, that's cool. First lunar orbiter uncrewed. I don't think I'm quite ready for that. Shiva lunar orbit. So I got to get the apogee below, I guess it's the apolune below 5,000 kilometers and the paralune above 20 kilometers. That's pretty close. And be in a stable orbit for 2 minutes. Collect science from around the moon and transmit it to the KSC. Oh, and that's the capstone. That's the final one. And then there's this lunar orbiter uncrewed one that I don't have yet. I have to do the first lunar orbiter uncrewed. Okay. Okay. You know, I might as well. I can grab the contract. Well, let's grab them both. I can always decline them after. In RP1, there's no penalty for declining contracts you pick up or canceling them. So let's grab both. Oh, I can't do this one and this one at the same time. Ah, that's the issue. Okay, lunar impactor it is. So let's take a look at our lunar impactor. Open up the contracts. Lunar impactor. We'll add that to our early lunar probes. Beautiful. Okay. Now, again, this is technically the exact same rocket. This is the same rocket as the Luna 1, which is right here. So let's make this one the Luna 2. Now, this all said, there are improvements I could make to this. Now, one thing that happened right away with this one is that it ran out of juice, as it were. No, it didn't run out. The communications failed. So I got to see if I can work on improving the antenna. I got to be honest, I've yet to really wrap my head around that. But the other thing here is that these baby sergeants, which is what I've been using to fire myself out there, I've yet to upgrade them. Now, there is a 5,000 fund purchase. How many? If I open up this one, isn't it? Somewhere it tells. What does it do for me? It might be a worthy upgrade. So we go from the thrust is the same, thank goodness, because the TWR is right through the roof. But the ISP improves dramatically. There's a little bit of extra cost. Is there a change in mass? No, there's no change in mass. So it's purely an ISP change. Somehow there's a change in TWR, though, without there being a change in mass nor a change in thrust. So I don't quite know how that works. Let's open up our McJebs and open up our DV. I gotta come up with a better... I said that last time. Gotta come up with a better place for this. Settings. There's the bottom or there's the left. Problem is it starts to interfere, like in the VAB, no matter where you place it, there's the right, but then that's going to interfere. Maybe that's the better option. Then there's the top. And then there's the bottom. Or you can just get rid of this stupid little pull down. Let's try it on the right there and see how that sits with me for a little while. Alright, so if... Let's take this off. Right now this thing has 3,685 meters per second of DV. What I'm hoping is that I can do the upgrades and lose some of these boosters. Because it is too much. I really only need about 3,200 meters per second. So if I do that, that improved the DV. There is the 3-pack that's in the middle there that you can't see, but it is there. And that improves the DV even more. And then we have the singleton on the top. And go to there, and that improves the DV. So, in all likelihood, I am strongly suspecting if I lose the... Oops. If I lose this, that's not enough. But maybe we can get away with... without the 3-pack. That should be about right. Look at the TWRs, though. That should be about right. Or I can keep the whole shkabango. Let's actually keep the whole thing for now. Because I might make some improvements to the probe, and that might bring down the DV. The 3er goes there. This guy goes there. And then that goes there. And let's make sure that's good. And that's the 3er. That's the singleton on the top. Okay. Let's take a look at this. And let's take a look specifically at comms. And I got to be honest, there are people trying to help me with the comms, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's see. Where's the communications part? Right here. So this thing just lost comms. There is an antenna planner right there. Okay. Let's open that up. So, remote body presets. Ooh, maybe that'll help me out. If I just click moon. Can I just trust that? Did that do anything to my DV stats? What if I just click that preset and say, what happens if I push the word plan? Is that what does it? Close. Did I do anything? It feels like I didn't do anything. Maybe that's just a planner. Maybe that doesn't do anything. So wait a second. So if I press moon, yeah, nothing's changing over there. (42) primary antenna. Let me see. Do I want even more details? No. So this is looking at what I have right now. My ground station. Oh, the ground stations do vary. That probably... was why oh my god. That is probably why I lost communications. It all depends on which ground stations. They are all not created the same. Some have... what is that, a decibel minute? I don't know. Like I said, this communications electronic stuff I'm not super duper comfortable with. But if I went with the... okay, avionics, one tech level. I can't... oh, wait. Oh, I do have tech level. Okay, I didn't improve the tech... oh my gosh, I didn't have... close this. There was an upgrade in the tech level that I didn't take advantage of. Just missed that little slider. So that reduces the electricity requirements substantially. Okay, let's open up the planner again. Let's check on the moon. There is a VHF and UHF band. No connection, it says there. But it says I do have a connection here. I see. Now it says no connection. No connection at the max distance, no connection at the min. So let's put this at 32. If I go to UHF, it says no connection, so I'm assuming that's a bad thing. Tech level is up. Here I can select ground stations, but I don't... Oh, okay. What if I select this one? Ah, so with the weaker ground stations, I have no connection. So that was probably my issue. If I go up, 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 I probably should be upgrading the tracking station. Oh, that is going to be an issue. Now I see. Now I see. I have no connection with the weaker ground stations at all. I only have a connection if I have it on the better ground station. Oh, and it does say I have to transmit something back. But I don't know if I can do anything. Because if I put this up to the top, which of course, if you got to watch this power consumption, it's not linear. It just fires up as you increase that antenna power. I'm going to bring this down to 32. That is a connection, but not with this. This is the Atlas 2. Well, we're going to close this and kind of hope for the best. We'll give it a test. Okay. Now, this thing has a monstrous amount of delta V now. Like, seriously monstrous. What is the electricity? It says it's got enough electricity to last for 9 days. It will not live for 9 days. I can guarantee you that. So we can bring down the... what am I doing here? Bring down the amount of batteries. I'm looking for this button. Configure that button. There we go. Let's bring down the number of batteries. I got right now 1,000 kilojoules of batteries inside. Let's bring it down, or 2,000. Let's bring it down to 1,000. Preserve dimensions. Upgrade that. Now it's got 4 days worth of electricity again, which is plenty. Even if I simulate a little bit of transmitting in there, you know, like it's transmitting 10% of the time, which it won't be. I'm not going to put any long-term science in it. I think it's good. Okay, let's do that. So that is now, that's still a redonkulous amount of delta V. It is adding it, right? Yeah, it is. So let's see if we can put in some more science. So I have the temperature and the barometer aboard. Let's configure the science. There we go. I got the thermometer and the barometer from high space over the moon. At least I'm pretty sure I did. I should perhaps check that to make triply sure. Temperature scan. Yep. Luna, we got the high one, but then we lost our connection by the time it got down to low. Now, what does the contract say? Can I get away with transmitting something from just high space? Do I have to get to low space? That's a good question. Let's go find the answer, because it did say something about transmitting, right? No, it didn't. Never mind, that was the other contract. Okay. Let's look at other science. So we're looking at things that don't take long to transmit, or don't take long to collect, because this thing is going to crash into the surface, right? It's not going to be spending days in orbit around the moon, so I just have to be a little careful. We have a mass spectrometer. It takes 2 hours to collect it all. It's 2 watts of electrical generation. I do have to pay attention to that. We have, yeah, the micrometeorite detector is no good. The early TV camera would be cool, but no. Probably the micro radiation detector is 91 days. It won't be in orbit long enough for that. The mass spectrometer might be my best bet. If I turn that on, I now have 2 days worth of electricity. And keep in mind, it is going to be spending some times transmitting. It's okay. It's not too bad. I think 2 days would be enough. Let's just try the mass spectrometer. There's also, I noticed, barometer, thermometer, radiation detector is no good, magnetometer is no good. The mass spectrometer is the one I got up there, yes. Micrometeorite detector, the early television camera, but it is a big power gobbler. It takes 40 minutes to collect it all. It might collect a fair amount, especially when it's falling from high space. It might collect a fair amount of video imaging. That's pretty cool. And again, didn't really affect the, let's do the, where's the, no, I think it's pretty good. We'll give this a test. Let's do all that science. Let's see how it does. Okay, that is still a lot of delta V. So I would love to get this down again around 3,200. Even that, whoa, that's 3,500 right there. That's all from just some simple upgrades. Oh, the upgrades to the communications probably has made a huge difference. Now I can't get away without the 3er, right? There's no way. No, obviously. But does it mean I can get away without this? Because that would be super. So I'm looking at only right now about, I find it hard to believe this will make it to orbit, but let's see. I am looking at only about 123 kilograms. Let's throw this booster away. See if we can get away with a smaller booster. 123 kilograms of payload. If I go into here and look at my booster library, that's not complete, but it's working in the right direction. Oh, wow, I can get away with a smaller one than all of these. Okay, let's just save this for now. Let's open up. What was on Explorer 6? This is my standard Atlas Stentor rocket. Let's figure out what this can or can't put into orbit. Now, it probably has tech upgrades I can do. Let's throw that away. Let's configure this. Yeah, I can go to basic avionics here. Let's keep all of this the same. 10 tons, 55 kilojoules. Apply and resize to fit. Yep. Let's put this back to 10. Doesn't like that. I like just round numbers. Apply to resize to fit. Keeps going to 9.98. You know what? Let's just live with that then. You know what? I can do it. Let's put this to 11. Apply resize to fit. Then put it to 10. My obsession with nice numbers in 55 and apply and preserve dimensions. There, I win. You stinker. So there was an avionics upgrade I could do to that. There's, I'm sure, an avionics upgrade I can do here. Where am I? Configure button. There it is. Basic avionics. Again. Oh, that's way too much electricity. For goodness sakes. Apply and resize. Why has it got so much freaking electricity here? This thing will only be alive for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's change the root part to here. Open this up. Remove this. And oh, it's saying perpetual because it's got the silly clamps on it. So take the clamps off. 4 hours worth of electricity aboard. That's clearly redonkulous. Now it's got 2 minutes and 25 seconds. That's probably a little tight. Four minutes of electricity. Let's go with that. That is far more reasonable. Okay, we'll put this back on. If it'll let me. Something about these launch clamps, it just... There's so many nodes. There it is. And then you gotta pull this down. Put this back on. Oh shoot, I didn't get the engine. There. There. And there. Okay. Also, I can upgrade these engines. But I'll leave them the way they are for now. I'm kind of curious if I can get away with just a cheapy one like this to get this payload into orbit. Now, of course, what have I done? I have completely forgotten what the payload is that's required. But let's do the dummy mass thing. Let's put in some lead ballast. And I'm going to do this right this time. I keep screwing this up. I'm not paying enough attention to the staging, which actually I can already tell is screwed up. You got to make that the root part to get this to work. You've got to get your staging right, which is clearly so messed up right now. Oh my golly. That's the stentor. There are those two, so they got to go at the bottom. Then the launch clamps. Then the stentor engine. Then the hollow interstage, that's at the top, not you, but the procedural one there, that. Then those fairings. No, the stentor needs to be on its own, sorry. That goes there. That goes there. That's at the top. Okay, now we got a reasonable amount. So, getting into orbit, I've been budgeting about 9,400 meters per second of DV. Let's fill this thing. Right now it's got almost 10,000, but there's almost no weight up here. There's only 41 kilograms. So, whoa, do not tool that. Tank UI. Let's fill her full of lead. Okay. So now I got 5.6 tons, and the DVs come down to 5,750, which of course is no good, but that's okay. Now we can just start reducing the amount of this until we get a 9,400 meters per second is what I'm looking for. Wow. That's about right. 9,407 meters per second, and this is 270 kilograms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this booster, as is, and we're going to throw this into a subassembly. I really should have been doing this all the way along. So this is the Atlas. (1B) Stentor. Why did that open when I typed Stentor? Atlas 1B Stentor booster. And it is 270 kilograms. to LEO. So that will now be available for me all the time. Save. There we go. So now if I come and bring back, let's go new. Don't save any of that. Come back to my Luna 2. And grab that Atlas 1B Stentor. And put it onto here. Wait a minute. What is the Luna 2's weight? It is 123 kilograms. So this should be able to handle it without any problem. Because from my calculations, it can do that. So we'll put a little fairing on the top of this. We'll get this all contained. Or maybe we won't. We'll just stick it on like this. Why not? Bum, bum, bum. But I think this has got the legs to do this, right? Unless McJeb is lying to me. But I don't think so. We'll give her a test. We will give it a test. So this is with the one Stentor. Luna 2 on the Atlas 1B Stentor. Let's take the other Luna 2 and chuck it and delete it. I don't want to have too many of these. Okay. Close that. Okay. Should I put a fairing on this or just kind of taper this a little bit? I'm kind of inclined to just kind of taper this a little bit. No fairing. Let's reduce this down. Diameter. Maybe a little bit more on the vertical scale to give a little bit of clearance. So that is now 1/2 meter. If I take this here, bring up the length, because I know it's not going to be. Bring up the top to 1/2 meter. And then bring down the length until it won't fit no more. Which is right about there. Just make sure that that's still got the same correct avionics in it. I might need to tool this because of the change I just made. But anyway, one thing at a time. Configure that. It is 7.45 tons. Usually it was a 10. And only 10 units of EC. That can't be right. Let's open. I think it was 50 before. I had this at 10. I remember this was 10 tons and this was 50 units of EC. So on basic avionics, apply and resize. There we go. Okay. I can live with that. Okay, make the top part the root. Does those avionics need to be upgraded? I don't think they do, but just to check. No, they're on the top avionics I got. Alright, boomity 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 boom. Let's make that the root part. Let's give this thing a go. Is it already the root part? It is. Okay. Staging. Check the staging. Zoom, zoom, zoom. That is the Stentor. Then all that. Then that's the cluster of 3, which needs to go at the same time as that ring decoupler, and then that guy. Okay, good. All right, let's save and give this a simulate. And no, we're not going to go for orbit. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm set to looking at the moon. This is from making my last thumbnail. Earth. Don't start from orbit. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, simulate. Okay, close that. Close that. Keep that handy. Our sense stats are over here. Ascent guidance. Let's close that again. Put on that. Luna 2. And all I want to do is, yeah, let's try and get to the moon. So I need to, first of all, let's look at our ascent parameters, make sure those are all sensible. The top 2 stages are unguided. So that is 0 and 1. Early cutoff needs to be stage 2. I'm really awkward here. Yeah, stage 2. Stage 2. Last stage is stage 2. Boom, 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 boom. I think everything else should be fine. Let's get out here, select the moon as a target. That should allow me to launch to target, launch to plane of target. There we go. We got our launch window coming up in 18 minutes. We'll put on the auto warp. It's on. And we'll engage McJeb. And let McJeb do all the work for us. Fortunately, these launch windows tend to always be at night. For now. I don't have any... I'll assume as later in the year, this might come out a little bit better. But it's kind of like where we're at right now. I'm not giving you much of an opportunity to see the new textures and stuff that came with the Soul mod install. Alright, so we are coming up to it here. And off we go. Alright. So this would be nice if I can get the lunar impactor just with, you know, much cheaper booster. Nothing to tool. Oh no, probably a little bit of tooling on the avionics up there, but that's about it. Oh wait, I'll have to I don't know if I have to tool that. We'll see, because I think I've had a previous rocket that dealt with that. Anyway, let's time warp here a little bit. 90 seconds. You can see the lights. Those are improved with the Soul mod instead of the RSS Reborn. Okay, about a minute to go on this stage. Oh, do I have the, let's take that off. Do I have the hot staging properly enabled and all that stuff? Support hot staging? Yeah, that's all good. This would be good. Here's our gone into PVG mode with the hard pitch over. So the main goal of this test is just to see if I can put, the idea is to put this into orbit without ever needing any of these SRBs. And then the second part of this is, can I get this to go towards the moon? And if the answer to both those questions are yes, then I'm going to be a very happy guy. Alright, we are coming to 10 seconds to stage separation. We should fire up the Stentor about a second early, get it to spool up. Yeah. Let go. Nice. Nicey nice. A little bit of a kick. A little bit of a kick. It's bringing itself back on course again. Alright. Again, we're shooting for... Oh, I wrote here 300 by 300. McJeb is saying I'm going to be able to do it anyway, so that's fine. But normally I've been doing a 250 for our parking orbit, but 300 will do too. If it can do it, why not? It says it can do it with about 186 meters per second to spare, so we'll see. Okay, a little bit of time warping again. We are in space now. Now it's about building up this velocity and getting ourselves up to orbital velocity. Okay, what do we got? 40 seconds left. Getting a little bit of camera shake now as the G-forces start to climb. 20 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds taken off the time warp. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cut off. And we are in pretty close to a 300 by 300 orbit. Beauty. Okay, now we need to get ourselves, we've got to do the rendezvous planner. And we are doing an intercept with the home and transfer, right? There it is. It's predicting 3,100 meters per second. There is 3,500 meters per second left in this thing. But I don't trust this when it comes to SRBs. It just seems to be not right. So we're just going to do our best. Let's see. What does it predict for our... So there... Oh, let's get... Why am I going way out into stupid land here? There we go. Here's the moon. Focus our view on the moon. I wanted to... Oh, here. Focus the view on the moon. There's our intercept. And what I did before is I used the maneuver editor to... I don't trust this number of 3,577, but I'm going to put it in anyway. 3,577. Because I don't know what better number to put in. Update. Now we're missing. And now what I need to do is just dial this back. So 10 seconds. Intervals and start bringing back the time here. There we go. All right, so there's our Kerschmack. Let's see if we can get this to work. So this burn's coming up in 59 minutes. We got auto warp on. Let's give us, where's the lead time? We'll do the lead time. Again, it takes about 6 seconds to do it. So I'm going to start the burn 6 seconds before. I'm pretty sure McJeb is not going to do this for us. So let's execute the node. Here, we can get rid of this and execute next node. Yeah. A little bit of Chatterer. That's the new thing I installed too. I didn't have Chatterer before. Random noises. It'll be more fun when we got Kerbals involved for sure. Okay, doing a little bit of a correction, pointing this in the right direction. It's got to spin itself all the way around. That's going to take a little bit. Still 10 minutes to the node. What if this were towards the top? I'm again looking at these McJeb settings and trying to find the right one where I can put that little window. I'm using it more, so I like the little pull down tab. I just can't find a good spot. Like up here, maybe? Maybe that's better. We'll see how that does. All right, it's getting itself to the node, and then it'll do some more auto warping. Almost there. Okay. Lost communications again, but it doesn't matter. Okay, 40 seconds to the burn. At 6 seconds before, I'm going to hit the space bar. And we're off. Okay. Here, I can do a little time warping. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, go. Go. Ooh, okay. And we got ourselves our hit, right? Oh, we just missed it. We just missed it. So I needed to put in, didn't quite go to the, okay. I know what to do. We'll dial this in. Clearly it's got the legs. What it doesn't have is the, I got to dial that in. So again, what McJeb predicts for the DV is not quite right. It actually burned a little less than that, but I know how we can fix this. For now, though, this thing's going pretty good. We have lost communication, but let's time warp until we get that back. There it is. And I got 10 days of electric charge aboard, so that's not going to be a problem. All right, let's get back to the editor. I got a plan. I has a plan here on how we're going to dial this in. So, and it's the same plan I had last time. So we're going to open this up. Open up this. We're going to actually save. No, don't. Did I save it before? Here, let's save it again. In case I didn't save it before. So, sorry. Close there. Save. Open again. Throw you away. Throw you away. We're going to, now I had written down right here for the moon, the moon's inclination and the moon's longitude of the ascending node. So all I got to do is put myself into an orbit of Kerbin with this information there. And we should be able to just simulate being in the same plane again. So get this away. And we're going to simulate. And we're going to start an orbit. And we'll do the 250 by 250 orbit. We'll have to readjust that later. And the inclination is 28.363 degrees. And the longitude of the ascending node is 2.2964 degrees. Probably doesn't need to be as accurate as that, but why not put it in if I have that number? Okay, we're going to simulate that. Okay, and we should now be in an orbit that is in the moon's orbit plane, right? Let's get rid of the distracting information, which is always there. This should be, oh yeah, we're there. Yep. So I should be able to just set the moon as a target again. And I should be able to intercept with a home and transfer. And there we go. Okay. Now, I'm not going to actually do that just yet. What I'm going to do is I want to find out exactly, again, I do not trust McJeb's numbers when it comes to what the DV is going to be. Whoops. So what I need to do is I need to first of all enable this engine. Oh, I need to enable the RCS. There, RCS is now enabled, and then we're going to take our two SRBs down. These are in the wrong order. There we go. And I'm going to point this in a prograde direction. We'll use Smart ASS for that. Where is that one? There it is. And lock you to the orbital prograde vector. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fire off the SRBs. I'm going to note what my velocity is right now. Wait, right here. And I'm just going to see what I end up with. So I'm not going to perform this maneuver. Why is it 3,675? Why does it vary so much? Wow. That's interesting, isn't it? Is that just me? Maybe I should go into the 300-kilometer orbit. Okay, anyway, first experiment is just going to be to see what does this actually do. The McJeb is predicting I should increase my velocity by 3,577. I just don't believe it right now. I'm going 7,759. All I have to do is note what my velocity is when I went right now, and then what my velocity is after firing off my SRBs. And subtract the two. It's as simple as that. 7,000. I'm just putting the first number into my calculator and I'm getting ready. We're just about on to prograde here. We'll let it kind of settle itself out. I'm just going to wait for the RCS to turn off. I think that's good. Okay, so I'm at 7,759. Let's fire these off. And that did not work. Restart the simulation. All best laid plans, and I just messed up my staging. Okay, restart the simulation. Yeah. Okay, we shall try this again. I don't need to be... Let's just lock this onto prograde. Let's turn on our RCS. Yep, there it goes. Okay, let's do this right. This is the 3-pack. And this is the 1-pack. 3-pack first, then the 1-pack. Yes'm. Okay, we'll try this again. All right, so it's been, you know what's funny right now? I started spinning this thing. You see that? It's spinning right now. It's creating some centrifugal forces on the propellant, and that has made this engine, the Stentor, lightable because it's spinning. Right? The propellant is being pushed down to the bottom of the tank. So it is modeling that, which is pretty cool. But I suspect as soon as we find it stops the rotation, this engine here, it should go red again because it's lost ullage. But that's okay. I don't plan on lighting it anyway. This should go red. Give it a bit. Let the RCS turn off. Well, it's not spinning really now. Okay, don't make a liar out of me. Ah, there it goes. It's gone amber. I'm sorry. But it's lost its... now it's red. See, it can't be fired now. Just because I lost that spinning. Okay, so 7,759. Let's do this. Why on earth is that happening? Okay, restart. Why? Why? Okay. That is so strange. Okay, I'm just gonna... I'm not gonna adjust the staging at all. I'm not quite sure why that was happening. And why it's just firing off the singleton, even though I had the staging set up right. It must be looking at this is when I pull this down to the bottom, it thinks this is the I don't know. Already activated, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the staging alone. This engine will not engage anyway, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to hit space bars and just work my way up the stack. We'll get this stupid test out of the way eventually. So the moon, I mean, I know the moon is in a, maybe I should take a look at that more closely. The moon is in a bit of an eccentric orbit. So whether you're hitting the moon at its apogee or whether you're hitting the moon at its perigee is going to affect the amount of the burn. I'm still curious as to why I got such variation in that burn. You know what it could be? It could be I'm not quite in the plane. That could be. And it's adding in a reasonably significant normal component. That could be what's going on. That's all. Okay, so I might not be matched up enough. Okay, we're here. We're here. We're here. This time it's going to do it, right? So, stage. Stage. Staging again. There we go. Okay, so what I'm looking at is the final product here. What's our final? 11,300. Let me write that down. And 57. 11,357. And if I subtract that from what I had previously, as I get out my calculator, it did 3,598 meters per second is what it added to my velocity. I've honestly already forgotten what McJeb was predicting up here, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just open up that browser. I'm really curious now with what's going on. I think it must be adding a normal component. Because even at the moon's... I come back here. I got the moon's apogee at 405,507 kilometers. Even if I put that number in, so I went from 250 to 4,507. That's still a prediction of 3,127 meters per second for them. There must be a big normal component. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. Okay, let's restart the simulation. Now that I got that number, 3,598 meters per second. Okay, restart. Okay. Set the moon as a target. So what's the plane difference here? Oh, I have a 5-degree plane difference. So, yeah, I'm crap. That's why. So when I do this home and transfer, and it works that out. And if I do the maneuver editor, where's that thing? Maneuver node editor. Yeah, the prograde component is only 2,098, but there's a radial component of 1,500 meters per second and a normal component of 1,700 meters per second. That's what's making this burn so expensive. For goodness sakes. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this then in a different way. Let's revert back to the editor. Let's open up Luna 2. There it is. Let's try simulating this from the launch pad once again. But my inclination and land might just flat out suck. Might be all that's going on with that. Okay, open up ascent guidance. Let's go for a 250 by 250 orbit this time. There we go. And again, the ascent things here should all be the same. They are. Looks like it. Close that. We will set the moon as a target. We will launch into the plane of the target. We will engage, and we will go. And I'm going to let it go into that plane, and I'm going to note the numbers a little bit better on this orbital info tab up here. That's still the previous thing that I did still is working, right? I still got, I think, a much better idea of what the change in velocity will be from these two baby sergeants up at the top. Okay, where are we at? We get a countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And we're off. Okay, and we're going to do a little time warping and try and do this super quick. Super quick. Super quick. Yeah, the longitude of the ascending... I was just thinking, I was pausing there for a second and thinking... The longitude of the ascending node is a constant. It does not change. I mean, no, it doesn't. Because it's based upon the celestial longitudes, not longitude relative to Earth. So I must have just had the numbers wrong. I'm trying to remember where I got the numbers from. I might have just actually looked them up online for the real moon. And maybe they're not quite the same. I can't remember. But what I'll do is I'll pay attention to what numbers I get here. Basically what I'm looking at is inclination and longitude of the ascending node. Okay, we're on to our stentor there. Much cleaner separation than last time. And I'm actually looking at this longitude of the ascending node, and it is not 20... What did I have? 2 degrees. It's like 153 degrees. So that's where I was off. That's where I was off. The inclination was close-ish, but this longitude of the ascending node is way off. Alright. Anyway. Jeb again is saying we're going to do this comfortably. I love just squeezing as much as I can out of all of these old lifters. If I can get the contract done with just these old lifters, and that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, 30 seconds till engine cutoff. And 15. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut. Okay. There we go. We are in our orbit. 250 or 250 or thereabouts. We should be able to now do the intercept with the home and transfer of 3,121. That is much more sane. If I come back out here now, what is our relative inclination? Oh, it's not giving it to us. Okay, fine, be that way. If I take this off, will it give it? There it is. What is our relative? 0. So we are right in the plane now. Okay, let's put the home and transfer back in. Beautiful. All right. I guess it wasn't that much different. Oh my gosh. I guess there's variations in these boosters. I'm now looking at this 3,577 meters per second is what McJeb is predicting. And my one was, when I did that experiment, was 3,598. Not that different. Now I'm a little bit worried that maybe I might need to come up with a better plan. I am thinking. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to write down those new numbers there. For the so the inclination I have right in the moon is 28.723 degrees. 723 degrees. And the longitude of the ascending node is 352. Man, my old one was crap. And then 34 minutes and 39 seconds, which I'm going to convert to a decimal. Because I know when I put it in, it'll be a decimal. So that is going to be 34 divided by 60 plus 39 seconds divided by 3,600, because there's 3,600 seconds in a degree. And that is 0.7, that is 5775. All right. Next. I need to get the maneuver editor. I need to put in my prediction here for what this is going to be. You know what? I'm going to redesign this. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of RCS on this top guy. Wonder if that's doable. Or do it with a different engine. Maybe just give up on these SRBs all the time. I mean, I have the ability to lift bigger payloads. Yeah. I think this is too flaky. Maybe I just got lucky before. Well, let's just do it anyway. Let's do it. Let's get the maneuver editor. And by my work, I should be able to put in 3,598 in for the prograde component to change and update that. That changes that. And dump. And I'm going to need to readjust because now we're missing. Dial that back. View this from the moon. Just a single second here. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to get. Let's see what happens. But I honestly just don't have a huge amount of hope. I got to be honest. I think I might have gotten lucky last time. Because there's been people suggesting just put a little tiny amount of RCS on here. And then you can use the RCS to kind of just fine-tune your encounter. If you overshoot or undershoot a little bit, you know, you should be fine. And that's probably smart. And maybe it's time to do that. We'll see how this one goes. All right, can I can time warp this, right? Like I got persistent rotation involved. Yeah. Oh, it just auto stopped me. Put a little time warp on it and go, no, don't you time warp. Bad boy. All right. Just again, looking at communications. Oh, see that? Yeah, you see, depending upon your ground station, it can dip quite a bit. All right, here we go. Little time warping. Every time I time warp, it goes, no, don't you time warp. I'm in control of this. Okay, we are, and again, I'm going to start 6 seconds early. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. All right, how'd I do? Well, now I got my hit. I'm kind of inclined to go for it. I just like the risk of it. I just really do. Okay, let's time warp out to here. Goodbye, Earth. Hello, Moon, wherever you are. Put this back on orbit. I got my hit. There's the Earth. Whoop. Okay, and somewhere there's the moon. So we're getting our inclination. Our signal is very weak. We should be doing some science. Oh, this is a bad spot for this. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of this. Settings. Let's just lose the whole hide menu bar. Yeah, let's just do that. There we go. And now we'll just close it. There's no good spot for that. Okay. We should be doing science. Yeah, we're running the mass spectrometer. And I'm seeing here 0 bits per second, so I'm not convinced actually any of it's being transmitted. Maybe it is. Oh no, it says there's science. I've transmitted science. Okay, so we're okay. And this is for this contract. I just want to make sure that the contract actually satisfies it. There's not something that I have missed. Let's close windows I'm no longer using here. All right, so we are falling in. We are collecting science. We're running our mass spectrometry. And we're keeping an eye on... We have 4 hours of time to periapsis is... Oh, actually, with all the transmitting, might want to put on some more batteries. Because, yeah... That magnetometer sort of put it over the top. But I am getting science out of it. But I only have 3.5 hours of electric charge. And it says here my time to periapsis, which is going to be very close to the time to impact, is more than that. A little more than that. So maybe a little bit more battery may not be a bad thing. Okay, I just lost communications. Which, of course, now doesn't matter. Am I going to continue to lose communication all the way through this? What I should do is just put this bloody thing in orbit about the moon and just use that as my test. Yeah, I have lost communication. I have no connection. I am getting my impact, but no connection. I just want to make sure that this contract does satisfy. So once again, I've lost my connection. I think what happens is you just get a ground station pointed at you from Earth. That isn't, I mean, we definitely, there's going to be a ground station somewhere on this side of the planet that we can communicate with. That shouldn't be a problem, but I think it's only when you get, like, the good ground stations, like maybe it's the KSC itself, right? There is electric charge aboard, because now that it's not transmitting anymore, and once we're below 3,500 meters, that's when it should. Okay, I'm going to take the time warp off because we are pretty close. Not that close, actually. Put this on surface. Again, speed is not a problem. We're definitely hitting it fast enough. Turn that to surface. Okay, so I want to put on a little bit more electricity. Okay, let's take time warp off. It's okay, time warp is off, believe it or not. Oh. Electric charge is not 0 units. Electric charge, not 0 units. What's the craft must have electric charge? It did have electric. This is what happened to me before. It definitely did have electric charge. I mean, it clearly doesn't now. And then it worked fine when I did it for realsies. All right. It happened to me before. When I did it in simulation, it didn't work. And then when I did it for real, it did work. And if I recall, it was the exact same error. Okay. So what do I want to do with this thing? I want to give it a little bit more electricity. So that is... oh my gosh, that button. So it's got 1,000 kilojoules of electricity. But the problem that I was running into, let's take the bottom part off so I can actually see the electrical thingy. Yep, that's the right button. The problem I was running into, well, I also got to give it better antennas. Maybe I should worry about that first. So here, I know what I'll do. If I go to the planner, where is the comms section here? Here it is. If I go to this active transmission, I started running out of electricity. If I put this at 50%, that might give me a better indication of where to put. Okay, that's cool. So, because as soon as it was transmitting, I was running into problems. But. Let's put this in orbit about the moon. I think that might be the best plan. So we're going to simulate, start in orbit, select the moon, and try and figure out the antenna situation. So let's put it in a 50 kilometer by 50 kilometer circular orbit about the moon. Right? Okay. Simulate. Alright, so I do not have communication. Do I have line of sight? That's clearly an important part of it. So the answer to the question is I don't have communication and I do not have line of sight. Or I do have line of sight now. So what I'm going to do, let's go back to the editor. Let's open this up. Let's open up the planner. Where is that? Antenna planning. Let's select the moon. Let's select one of our weaker ground stations. So we see 40 decibel minutes or whatever they are. I see 50s, but let's go with one of the 40s. So that says no connection. How far do I have to put this up to see a connection? And there is my problem. There is my problem. I need to update. See, I can't afford... I cannot afford that much. And changing the band makes it worse. I can't afford to up the I can't afford to do it that much. So if I go to UHF, it says no connection altogether. What does this plan button do? I don't even know what that does. If I go to VHF, which is my only other option, so I think my antenna is like as good as it's gonna get. I think I need to improve the tracking station. Let's get out of here for just a second. Is that an option to begin improving the tracking station? So to upgrade the tracking station, can't upgrade this for requires digital communications. So I cannot upgrade the tracking station. Crap. Okay, so that... I don't know what some of these things means here. All that happens is supports comb codecs up to TL2. I don't know what that means. So I have a level 2 tracking station, but I can't upgrade it because I need to have... What was the technology again? Digital communications. There it is, way down here. Okay. Is there a way to upgrade ground stations? Like if I took a ground, there's where the KSC is. If I took a ground station that's on the other side, let's show them. How do you show them? There we go. Like one of these guys. Is there anything I can do with that? UHF is 3 decibels. VHF is 1. Here's a big one here. VHF 25 decibels. UHF 2 decibels. Or 3 decibels. Oh my god. Is there a menu or something that I can look at to manage this kind of stuff? Here's an antenna thing. Real antennas. What do we have happening here? Show config window. Hi config window. Show launch count console. That's not useful. Show the network. Don't know what this does. I'm just looking for anything that looks like it is an antenna-y thing. I don't see anything. Those are other launch sites. Oh, that just turns them on and off. I don't know why I have them on, really. UHF 3 decibels. So does that mean I should go UHF? I don't know. Back into here. Back to here. Open up again that antenna planner. I did write some notes. Somebody said UHF is faster, shorter range, but VHF is longer range, but slower. That's all I wrote down. And I do notice if I go to UHF, I get the no connection. Oh, I can scroll this over. Here we go. Hang on a second. Well, let's try this UHF thing. Because now I'm seeing connections here on a whole variety of ground stations. While on VHF, now I got no connection on VHF. Oh, was it just because I wasn't hitting the ground stations? Hang on. Wait a second. Now I'm oh wait, I gotta put this on Moon. I forgot. 40. So no connection. No connection. If I go to UHF, then no connection. And if I increase the power here, I still get no connection. Put it back on VHF. I only have it from this, whatever this is, P16, and this is my best station, the NIP P16 tracking station. It seems like if I have that one, I got it. And if I don't have that one, I don't. And none of the rest of these. Well, here's a 50 here. Oh, that's the Goldstone DSN. No, that one. Oh, that one says no connection. Why? It's the same number of decibels. I don't get it. I think I'm gonna have to just frickin' give up on that, because I just flat out don't get it. And I know there'll be people that will leave me explanations, but trust me, if it's more than 3 paragraphs long, I ain't reading it. And maybe I'll get into the settings and find a way to just disable it, because it ain't fun. I don't care. It ain't fun. And if it ain't fun, I ain't gonna do it. So let's see, where are we at here? I was looking at communication and I was giving up, wasn't I? Let's open up the Luna 2. I'm honestly thinking of just pushing this in because I think it'll work. And just saying screw it. Now, one of the other things I was thinking about was if I could take this top one, attaching RCS to this will be a challenge, to say the least. Let's take and I need about 3,200 meters per second of DV. I could just make an engine that I could turn off. Maybe that's not a dumb idea. Like, just abandon this. Now remember this. Is 123 kilograms. I really would prefer not to get majorly heavier than that. What if I took an isogrid tank, again, just trying to keep it small, trying to keep it light, went to small engines, particularly looking at finding that Aerobee again, not ground-lit engines. There. This needs to be pressurized tank for the Aerobee. Fill it. 3,200. And this is where I'm starting to get, like, you can already see the delta V. If I want to be in around the 3,200 meters per second range, there's something with about the same amount of delta V. Oh, it's only 191 kilograms. Okay, it's not as heavy. It's 191 kilograms compared to this configuration, which is 123 kilograms. But it'll certainly be a lot less headachy, wouldn't it? Let's bring the diameter down. So I want it to get at least fit into here, which is what? That's half it. Let's bring it below half a meter. Okay, the diameter is 300 millimeters. I can increase the size of this if I wanted to. That means I need to up the length. If I put it in a fairing, I don't have to worry about the nose cone at all. That can be just an avionics. And what's the weight of this? 187. Let's move this to a cylinder. This is what, 300? Move this to 300. Configure this. Go about 2500 and resize to fit. Needs to definitely still be bigger. This is turning in, like, can't believe it's not heavier than what it really is. So that's getting into the ballpark of the RAM. What am I up to in terms? Now it's up to 255. And I would still need to put some sort of RCS on it. Come on, stick there. I would probably put a fairing around this at this point. Just judging how big that fairing will end up having to be. Of course, that's going to add to the weight too. I don't know. Oh, it won't need RCS because I can just turn off the engine when I get the hit. TWR's all right. Okay, let's play with this. Play with this idea. What's the weight limit on this thing again? I've forgotten. 270 kilograms. So I'm under the 270 weight kilogram barely, but I am under it. Let me think. You would need to provide ullage, so you do need a little bit of RCS. But a little bit. Take this out. ISO grid tank. Diameter 300. Bring the length down to something reasonable. Engine underneath. I would need some form of something to provide ullage. What I could do is something like that. Could probably turn down to the. Let's bring this down to 50 or 50 meters for the thickness there, and we'll bring down that utilization to like 10% because it needs hardly anything. Oh, it needs to be pressurized, and then I can fill that for the. Oh wait, I've been using helium lately. So, oh no, I've been using HTP. So we'll do that. Go to the tank. Fill it for the RCS blocks. Oh, it needs to be longer. I can already see I've lost DV. So longer still. I'm worried this is getting too heavy. Well, I mean, I could put a bigger booster under it. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Let's bring back, don't save this. Let's bring back this. I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to push this into the queue. That is what I'm going to do. So let's put up a note. So this is going to be Explorer 9 is still being worked on. This is going to be a new Luna 2. This is going to be another lunar impactor. Adjust the McJeb maneuver to 3,598. Light SRB manually when McJeb increases throttle. Manually 6 seconds early. Okay, and let's make a new boot file for this that I'm going to just call the Luna boot file. So, Actually, I don't end up using... I can't use the countdown anyway, so let's just do this. We're going to put it in a 250 by 250 kilometer orbit. And parking orbit. That's enough notes. We'll take the boot file out. I don't even know if there's one in there. It is, so we're going to take that out. So I don't use that launch. Oh, but I want... No, I do want it. Shoot, shoot, shoot. No, let's... Okay, no, we are going to make a new one. Sorry, new plan. So we're going to take that off. Because the one thing that it does do is it turns on the RCS for me. And I know that seems weak to have a boot file that's its only job is to turn on the RCS. But honestly, I need that. So we're going to take this Explorer boot. We're going to save this as... this is the Luna boot. Save it. Okay. All of this is fine. We're going to write which flight instructions are we going to do. We're going to switch over to flight instructions 3. And this is going to be for the Luna 2. And early cutoff is on for 3. Here, we can probably copy them from here. Copy. Paste. These can go. Okay, target the moon. That's all right. That's all right. I'm not convinced it is 3, actually. Only the top 2 stages. We'll verify this in just a sec. Drop solids early. Engage McJeb. Okay, let's save that. Let's save this. Turn that off. Let's close the notes. Let's what was I gonna do next? I was going to go into here. That's right. Oh no, I got to refresh all that business. Where is that? KOS. Reread the boot folder. And now I should have that Luna one in there. Luna boot. Okay. Let's save that and simulate it again. Do it 12 hours. No. Just do it on the pad. No, we're not doing it from orbit, silly. Certainly doing it from the Earth, not from orbit. There we go, simulate. All right, ascent profile. And right here. And ascent settings and PVG settings, and there we go. So there we go. That's what I'm looking at. So 250, 250. Okay. So bring back up the VSS code. It was only 0 and 1. That, whoops, I'm in the wrong section here. 0 and 1 that are the unguided stages. That is correct. And it is stage number 2 that is the last stage. Yes. So instead of that, that should be 2. And 2. Okay, save that. Get rid of that. Back to here. And we are going to revert back. Okay, okay, is there tooling and stuff I got to do? There is. It's not much expensive, so we'll tool all that. Purchase all toolings. There is a 5,000 fund unlock credit, but I got it, and that's for the new new baby sergeants. So engine. We will purchase these. All right, and that should be that. So we're going to save this, and we're going to push this into the queue. Warning, this vessel does not pass the editor checks. Listed below are the problems. Mass minimum has been exceeded. Oh, we have to do a little bit. Oh, it needs to be a little heavier. Oh, my goodness. It's too light. I built this too light. Wasn't that interesting? Modify. This is 74 tons. Minimum, if I do this modification, what if I increase this? I want the new minimum to be really 74 tons, because I think this is probably as light a rocket as I'm going to do. So if I change this to 100, that's 75 tons. This is still below the minimum, so if I change this to 95... that's 71 tons. I guess I'll live with that. Oh boy. And that's going to be a 2-day renovation. All right, we'll do it. So modify that. Okay. And let's step out of here. All right. Recover this stupid stuff. Okay, so what do we got coming up then? Combined here, we got to redo the Atlas complex, so that's got to happen. I'm still also waiting for the unlock credits to unlock what I need with the my other rocket. Is there any construction going on? There's no construction going on. I got staff not doing anything. Die. I have 300 unassigned. Can I throw them in here? Back to combined. I thought there was some modifications I needed to do. Maybe I don't. Okay, I want to get this up to 495, so I need another 195 from Launch Complex 2. I only have 100 in there. Where are all my... Oh, did I just put them in the hangar because I'm a dummy? I sure did. Oh my god. I put them in the hangar. Atlas Launch Complex. Put them in here. That's 300. I can get 5 more from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, those are full. All right. And where is Luna 2 on this combined? Why is this still yellow? Some engineers are idle. Why? Did I put... I am so confused what's going on. I got nothing being done here. Let's go back here. Build. Okay. Show integration windows. All right. Now it's there. Why that took so long, I don't know. Now, while I'm here, let's take a look as well at my... That was the Explorer 9 is the other one I'm working on. This guy. And it needs total tooling cost 21,000. I've done all the unlocking. So I need about 22,000 credits in order to do the tooling. So we'll wait on that. Okay, so this... I should now have a rocket being integrated. Yes. Why that didn't happen before, I'm not sure. Okay, so that is my next thing on my list coming up in only 38 days. So looking at the time, yeah, let's do this thing. So we also want to keep track of credits here. So let's start time warping just manually. And I'm watching the credits. I want to see that get up to 20,000. If that gets up around 20, what did I say? 24,000? Something like that. That's 10,000 unlocked credits. Okay, 15,000 unlocked credits. Oh, I got some video imaging science coming in. Actually, whoa, I got a ton of science too. Okay, let's put this on the brakes for a little bit. Okay. I need 21,000. I got it. So I can do the unlocking thing. So let's do this. Now the problem is I need to modify the... This one is probably too heavy. Oh. I'm going to have to wait and modify it back. That is awful. I feel like I should be making another launch complex. I just don't want to. Yeah, I know. So what needs to be unlocked then? It says here... Oh, tooling. I got to do tooling, silly. So tool all. Okay, purchase all toolings. Okay, so this guy is ready to go. But I can't do it in the launch complex as it currently stands. Now what I should do as well, open this up, is put in the Explorer boot. Boot file is the Explorer boot. There it is. Let's open that up. So I've lost my Explorer boot. Where is it? There we are. It is running flight instructions number 5. So this is the Explorer 9. Yes, that's even the right rocket. We are not doing any of this stuff. Nope, nope, nope. So this one, as I recall, I am going. Let me just really quickly simulate this. Close this. Simulate. This one, as I recall, I wanted to go into a 300 by 300 orbit, but not target the moon. Oh my gosh, I should check all this because I'm not really sure now. Did I write anything in my notes? Probably not. What did I write here for the Explorer 9? Oh, I did write some stuff. Okay, 250 by 250 orbit. Then the Apple up to 3050, and then okay. So open this up. That one. I'm not targeting the moon. This was 250 by 250, silly. I remember that. Okay, down here, though, I'm not targeting the moon. So take that line out. Last stage and early cutoff stages were 3s. I don't think that's right. I think it was Jeepers 4, maybe 4. Put the notes over here. So unguided stages are the top. No, it's only the very top one that's unguided. Unguided stage is a 1. Early cut-off stage is stage number 4. 4. I will verify all this kind of stuff. Inclination is current. Unguided stage is a 1. Drop solids is off. Okay, let's bring this back. So this is a 4 and a 4. And inclination is current. First roll. Unguided stage was only... wait, not 1. It's 0. There. Okay. This should be a 0. And I should definitely test this and make sure I am not totally out to lunch. So let's put this to the test. Yeah, 250, 250. Let's engage McJeb. McJeb looks like it's not having any issues. And go. And let's see how this goes. Alright, so I just want to make sure that I got this ascent stuff all right. And then what I'm going to be doing is, as soon as that Luna 2 is ready, we're going to modify the launch pad so that, or modify the launch complex so we can launch this fella. Man, I thought this game would get easier as you go along, but it certainly is not doing that for me, is it? Alright. There goes those. And McJeb is certainly saying this isn't going to be a problem, but I just want to make sure. Give this a little altitude on our own. Let's say I should have, yeah, drop solids early, and it should also deploy the fairing by itself. Yeah, all that should be good. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? I got 40 seconds still, a little more time warping. That is 30. 20. Okay, 10 seconds to separation. Time warp off. Okay, there goes the Stentor, and that is that staged. Okay, we also should be losing the fairing pretty soon. Right on cue there. I'm pretty sure this is fine. McJeb is saying we're getting there. Yeah, it's getting there easy. Looks like we got 190 something meters per second left to spare, and sun's coming up. Let's just make sure it'll do it. No, it's increasing. It's doing. It's fine. Let's revert this back to the editor. All right, and okay, so this is ready to go. It has all been tooled, all been integrated, and in addition, we do have the Luna 2, which is only 6 days away from completion, but I'm sort of looking at the time of the video and I'm thinking, this might be the time for which I'm going to have to need to end this. So I'm going to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again for the next one.